short of a blockbuster trade, the Yankees don't have the pieces to replace Luis Severino. However, someone will need to take his spot. Let's take a look at the leading candidates to fill the fifth rotation spot for the Yankees in 2020. So candidate number one, even though he's probably the most talented, I'm going to say he's the least likely to fill this spot. His name is Deivi Garcia. He's a right-handed pitcher. He's 5'9", 163 pounds. He's just 20 years old. He'll be 21 on May 19th. So it used to be that the way you would evaluate a pitcher is that you would look at their minor league stats and you would say, oh, this guy, pitched really well this season. He had a something ERA, whatever. They don't do that anymore. The way you evaluate a pitcher is through the analytics, through StatCast, by reading their pitch data and seeing how that translates versus other major league pitchers. So the things that people like about Deivi Garcia are the spin rate on his fastball. He's got a very high spin rate on his fastball, which can touch 97, 98 miles an hour. He's got a very good overhand curveball. He started the Futures game and we got to see it. He's got a bit of a changeup. Last season in the minor leagues, he had 165 strikeouts in 111 and a third innings. So he's got the swing and miss stuff. He will be entering just his age 21 season, though. So is he ready? I don't know. Luis Severino was in the big leagues at 21. But if you recall, he wasn't great until he was about 23, 22 and a half, that range. It takes you a little while to adjust. Now, guys like Domingo Germán, who pitched very well last season, have proven that the Yankees can take somebody who has great stuff analytically and deploy that stuff through pitch selection against certain teams and maximize a pitcher's ability. So I like the thought of Deivi Garcia and his great stuff being in the rotation, but I do think the Yankees want to give him a bit more time in the minor leagues to adjust. Candidate number two, Michael King. We got to see him on Yes Network for the opener this spring. He's a guy who reminds me a bit of A.J. Burnett. I mean, you guys might have your own comparisons, but to me, I look at that, there goes my dog, I look at that two-seam fastball that's 93, 94 miles an hour. I look at his arm slot, and I think A.J. Burnett. Now, historically in the minor leagues, he's had much better control than A.J. Burnett has had. In 2018, when he pitched 161 innings and had a 1.79 ERA between single-A, double-A, and triple-A, he had just 29 walks to 152 strikeouts. So that is a strikeout-to-walk rate of 5.24. That is very nice. That won't be as easy to do in the big leagues where, you have to kind of pitch a bit more carefully, otherwise you're going to get shellacked. But Michael King does have very good stuff. So he is a candidate, and he's a bit older than the other guys. So I like him as a potential number 5 starter. So Clark Schmidt was drafted in the first round of the 2017 June amateur draft, 16th pick overall. He went to the University of South Carolina, very nice baseball program. So far, he doesn't have a ton of minor league experience. He had Tommy John surgery, so he was out for a bit. He has appeared in 113 or 114 minor league innings. He's got 132 strikeouts, a 3.39 ERA. So, not a ton of experience, but he seems to be very polished from what the scouts say. He's a big kid. He is 6'1", 200 pounds, so he's got a durable body. Might not be as injury-prone as somebody like Deivi Garcia. Although, to be honest, we haven't seen any injuries out of Deivi Garcia yet, but traditionally those smaller guys break down a bit more. So if you're just going for somebody who's going to take the post every day, Clark Schmidt could be that guy. Like I said, very seasoned. That's the difference between a guy who comes up from Latin America or high school and has to work his way through the minor leagues. All of your seasoning comes through minor league innings, whereas a college pitcher can get a significant amount of innings against quality athletes using metal bats and develop a bit of polish with very good college coaches. So in college, Clark Schmidt pitched 229 and 2/3 innings and had a 3.21 ERA. So, you don't want to read too much into college stats, but the point is he pitched a lot And that's basically minor league ball, at the college level these days. I mean, Division I, South Carolina, it's the SEC. So there's no telling how good he can be. The scouts seem to think that he's ready. So he just may get his chance if he can stay healthy, which is not a given. It seems like the Yankees pitchers are having a tough time staying healthy this spring. So I look forward to seeing who's gonna earn this battle. Hopefully we'll see a couple of these guys work on the Yes Network throughout the spring, and I'll be able to capture some footage and share it with you guys. So until next time, thanks for joining.